Hey guys, welcome back. So I want to talk about Thanos being Venomized. And not just that, but really my feelings about the Venomized series and also Venomverse as well. Because individually, we've talked quite a bit about Thanos on this channel. And I have a few different playlists where we've covered a number of topics on Thanos. Venom, on the other hand, we talked about the origination of the symbiotes and the planet they come from, Deadpool when he became Venom, both times. But either way, most people kind of have an idea of who Venom is, or at least how the symbiotes work in relationship to a host. So Venomverse and Venomized pretty much take those concepts and crank them up to 1,000,000, no exceptions. And because of that, we get the benefit of seeing pretty much everybody with the symbiote. And I do mean everybody: Wolverine, Black Panther, Deadpool, and even with Edge of Venomverse, we got Ghost Rider, which is something we've kind of seen before in Circle of 4, which is another conversation for another time in this channel. But one of the main things to understand is with reading any of these issues from your Venomverse, your Edge of Venomverse, or even Venomized, is going into it understanding what you're getting into. And with that said, pretty much what you see is what you get, which is only a bad thing if you're expecting more and you don't get it. But as far as Venomized, the early issues pick up not too long after Poison X, and Poison X was a series that went down to X-Men Blue. But going into Venomized was just really the conclusion of Venomverse. The X-Men Blue team and Venom are back on Earth, dealing with the Poisons who really want to take everybody with powers, bond them with the Clintar symbiote, because nobody else matters. And up until this point, we've been led to believe that this was the working of an alternate universe Dr. Doom. But it's around this time that Jean Grey is taken, and Jean actually has a link to Cyclops because at one point White Queen tried to brainwash him using a psychic amplifier, and when Jean went in to break him free, ever since they've been connected. And even Cyclops was like, this is real awkward, hearing each other's thoughts all the time. But on your opposing side of Doctor Strange, you have your poison version of Dr. Doom, and he's like your alternate Earth Hive commander, because the Poison Hive were using him to actually assemble a team to go up against Poison Doctor Strange. And for much of Edge of Venomverse and Venomverse itself, it would seem like that was the entire plot. But it wasn't until the latter end of Venomverse, and we also got a quick glimpse in Monsters Unleashed as well. But it's here in Venomverse that we find out that Dr. Doom, he isn't the main bad guy. And sure, he had been doing a lot of the legwork up to this point, but still he was reporting to Thanos, who was using the poisons to venomize different universes. And this poison Thanos from Earth 17952, he had been pursuing this Doctor Strange from another universe because Doctor Strange had been traveling through the multiverse building a resistance to go against him. And this version of Doctor Strange is also responsible for getting a number of the heroes who were missing back to the Prime Universe so they can fight off this threat. And unfortunately, it cost him the ultimate price. But after your Venomized Doctor Strange was gone, your biggest threats on Earth were one, Anti-Venom. Because of his healing powers, he was able to destroy some of the poison. And that's another thing, some people could be brought back and some couldn't. And many of the ones who couldn't were from an alternate universe. But this also was because in some cases where you have somebody who would have only been a host for a symbiote, in the case of the poison, more often than not, they will be completely engulfed into that symbiote. And in that case, there's really nobody to bring back or recover out of there. But as far as your second threat, and really the threat that this Thanos was spending most of his attention on, and that was the young Inhuman, Kid Kaiju. And Thanos didn't look at Kid Kaiju so much as a threat as he did an opportunity. Because for this Thanos, Kid Kaiju could expand his army to infinite numbers. And if that were to happen, Poison Thanos would be literally unstoppable. And so the special thing about Kid Kaiju reaches back to Monsters Unleashed. And to really get a better grasp of Venomized, you gotta go to Monsters Unleashed, go to Edge of Venomverse, read Venomverse, then Venomized. Because if you don't, you just jump into Venomized, then it's not gonna make any sense. And on top of that, there are other tie-ins like Poison X that further explain everything happening. And Poison X will explain stuff and actually take you back to the planet Clintar, which is the Prime Universe planet of the symbiotes. But either way, as far as Kid Kaiju, he was just a regular kid from Atlanta, Georgia. And if you watch that show Atlanta, all of that stuff really happens here. All of it. But that's another story for another time. But as far as Kid Kaiju, whose real name is Kai Kawade, his inhuman abilities manifested after being exposed to the Terrigen cloud that put him in a cocoon, and he later came out with the ability to draw different monsters and bring them to life. And was in the Monsters Unleashed event where we got a glimpse at Poison Thanos and his invasion, which was foreshadowing some of the things that were to come in the following Venomverse trilogy, but we really didn't get the full gist of it until the later issues of Venomized. And really just thinking about the timing that the whole Venomverse or Venomized series concludes, and with that landing right with the premiere of Avengers Infinity War, and not just Infinity War but also the second Venom trailer. And all of these series have had a long lead up pushing into now, bringing the payoff of the film, the second trailer, and these comics within weeks, if not days, within each other. It's crazy because like the timing was like on a dime. And we know clearly that this conclusion to Venomized wasn't by any coincidence, but this was fairly planned out. And I'm not mad at that. The only thing I'm saying as far as people getting into it and my feedback from reading it is just to know what you're getting into, because this is not your Gauntlet series, this is not your Infinity Watch, this is not your Infinity siblings, and it's not your Thanos wins. And there's a laundry list of Venom issues and series as well that'll give you much more depth, but Venomized and the lead up going into it is just not that type of story. And I've heard a few people say that they just did not like Venomized for that reason, because Poison Thanos comes in, he wrecks everybody, and after wrecking everybody in all this chaos, he's stopped by Kid Kaiju, who not only helped the resistance but was able to defend himself as well. So for me, looking in retrospect, all the way from Monsters Unleashed up until now, I appreciate the full arc for what it is. Is it one of my favorites? No. Does it suck? No. But going into this knowing that it was written by Cullen Bunn, who was also written for Deadpool, I go into these different issues with Deadpool expectations, and I enjoy the read, and it's really just that simple. But as far as the series, after Thanos is taken down, Jean Grey kind of comes up with a more permanent solution. And when she gets free, she's the one that destroys the poison, by taking down the mother, who produced all these different poison versions of heroes and villains across the multiverse. And that was really it. That's really everything in a nutshell. But I believe one of the main focuses of these series coming together and rooting all the way back into Monsters Unleashed, I believe aside from giving us Poison Venom, that the Venomverse and Venomized really wanted to drive home different concepts about the power of Kid Kaiju. And not only have we seen his monsters fight off Zemnu and the Leviathan Tide in the Prime Marvel universe, but we also see what he's capable of by being a huge part of fighting off the Poison invasion in Venomized. And because of this, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw more of his character later on in another arc. And aside from that, I would hope in the future that we do get more visits to Clintar in more of a Guardians of the Galaxy style telling, because I still believe them going there with Flash is one of the best representations of this planet that we gotten so far, because those issues really felt like you were reading the movie Alien. But yeah, hopefully now you guys got a better idea of Poison Thanos and possibly the answer to why I haven't done many Venomized or Venomverse videos. And there's a couple things on the Venomverse that I definitely will be diving back into, maybe one or two. But for the most part, a lot of what I gravitate towards when I think of Venom in the comics, it'll reach back more so towards Lethal Protector, Secret Avengers, or Dark Reign. And to me, Venomverse is more of a symbiote story than a story that I would consider a Venom story. But those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Have you read through the series? What do you think? Because I'm really curious to hear you guys' opinion. But smash that like button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you on the next one. Alright, later.